Okay, thank you very much. I want to call the Nairobi County MP, Esther Passaris, tupigie makofi. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, CAS Kobia, CAS Rachel Shebesh, PS, Safina, Senator Sakaja, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, I want to say first of all, thank you very much for coming to disperse the various funds that the government has for the citizens of Kenya to be able to uplift themselves from poverty. But there are, for me, as the woman representative, I feel we have a duplication. And today, I think we're only going to present the bursary check and not the enterprise money or the economic empowerment, because we feel that there is a need to synchronize all the funds so that we know those who've benefited from women enterprise. So when we start looking for those to benefit from GAF, we make sure that we give other Kenyans the opportunity to access the funds. There is the same challenge we find when it comes to bursaries. There are those who know how to go and look for bursaries. Wanatafuta MP, wanatafuta woman rep, wanatafuta MCA, now wengine, they don't benefit from the funds. So for me, what is so important is that we have to find a way to make sure that we leave no one behind, because Kenya is a signatory to the SDGs. Deputy President, I have one request to make, that in your position you can issue a directive. When they were putting together the GAF fund, which was supposed to empower women, they made one major mistake that marginalized women even more. They said that if you want to access the fund as youth, you have to be 25 and you have to have been having a bank account for 3 months. But if you want to access as women, you have to be 100 and you have to have had a bank account for 6 months. It is impossible to get 100 women together to access the fund. I also feel it is discriminatory for the women to be 100 to access the fund when the men have to be 25. For the women to have 6 months, men to have 3 months. So I would like us to synchronize so that we actually let the women groups go and start working, because we've seen that the women have a good repayment mechanism. Women honor the debt and pay the debt. And they can also help the youth. Deputy President, Your Excellency, we went around Nairobi. We've just conducted our civic education. And when we were going around Nairobi, we invited Women Enterprise, Uwezo, Youth Fund, and one of the biggest problems that we found was that they themselves do not go around to educate the public. So if we can synchronize education of all the facilities of one umbrella, it will actually save us from saying, oh, we didn't hear from the Youth Fund or the Uwezo Fund. Another thing I'd like to ask Your Excellency is the government has been absolutely excellent in providing sanitary towels for our children. We have actually distributed all the sanitary towels in Nairobi. So our girls in public schools have actually received the sanitary towels. But we have a huge gap. And this government is not a discrimination government. We cannot say that sanitary towels should only be provided to public schools. We have got even more children, even more girls in community-based schools. Today, Your Excellency, we wanted to ask you, please, it's not only the community-based schools and the public schools. There are street families, street women, who recently there was a story that has gone on the internet and it's all over the world about how they use mattresses, how they use leaves, how they suffer. There are some quick remedies that we can have, and I'm appealing that we find a way to ensure that the women that are poor, the young girls in community-based schools, the public schools, let us not discriminate. Girls are girls. Everyone who gets menstruals should be able to access sanitary towels. Kenya is leading in ensuring zero rating, It's leading in providing sanitary towels to the school kids, but let's not discriminate our girls. We need to quickly ask for the community-based schools. Your Excellency, there's another problem that I have that I need to tell you about. Our children finish primary school and then they have no secondary schools. We have a donor who has been sitting on money to provide a secondary school in Mukuru kwa Ruben. The money is available. We can put up a secondary school immediately where they have already put up a primary school, but the land was allocated to a prominent politician. The land has been sitting idle for the last 30 years. I feel that we need to ensure that that land returns to the community, and within 2 years we have a secondary school in Mukuru kwa Ruben. Your Excellency, I want to leave it there. I want to say thank you to the government for all the funds they've provided. My only advice to the women is let's continue doing good because we have to take ourselves out of poverty. And for the youth, women, those youth are our children. Those youth are our brothers. Those youth are our husbands. Some of us need to guide them so that we have a better return rate, because I know for Uwezo we're having a bit of a problem. And the return rate requires that it's high, the recovery is high, so that we can lend more people. So let us work together and educate each other. And while we are here in Kasarani, Your Excellency, there is a project that the Youth Fund undertook of hatcheries. And those hatcheries were supposed to empower our youth, and they spend a lot of money on providing those hatcheries. But what happened is they only distributed about 20% of those hatcheries, and about 80% were kept in storage in Kasarani, costing the Youth Fund 5 million every month. What is disturbing is that none of those hatcheries are functional. The Youth Fund continues to lose money, which is meant to empower the youth. I feel that we should also strengthen our desire to ensure that this country goes to zero corruption. And if we can do that, then the youth and the women and the children of this country will be able to benefit and say, yes, we have a government that cares for us and we are all moving together out of poverty. Thank you very much and God bless you.